Hello and welcome for one more round of Standard. This is round 4 of a daily event with Mono Blue Devotion, Born of the Gods Standard. We are 1 and 2. One bad matchup, one slightly sour game, and one very good game. My opponent has led first with a Mountain, signifying that could be either on a red burn based deck or a red devotion deck. We'll learn on turn 2, I assume. And he is passing the turn to us for a Judge's Familiar. Interesting. Drawing another Judge's Familiar. This is the first hand where I've drawn Nykthos so far, where it is in a position where it may end up being meaningful. We will see. Turn 4 is where I could potentially turn a profit on it. But turn 4, I'll probably be looking at being out of gas. So I don't think it's going to be very useful here, unless I draw on turn 3 a Night Veil Spectre. So a Frostburn Weird here means he is probably the red Devotion deck. They do not have any turn 1 plays. I'm happy to play a Tidebinder here on the Frostburn Weird. Excuse me. I'll attack with the Judge's Familiar before passing the turn. I would have loved to be able to play a Tidebinder Mage on a more powerful creature, but I think getting it out there is just a little more important when I have Thassa and Bident to follow it up on subsequent turns. If I just play Judge's Familiar, I guess Thassa plus Bident still turns on Thassa, so maybe that was a little greedy. But we'll see soon. I'm going to be playing Thassa here, but let's go ahead and attack with these two guys first. I have not been punished yet, and in fact, Tidebinder Mage turned out to be the correct play so far, anyway, given how my opponent has played this. But I'll play Thassa here and get really greedy, attempting to go Bident next turn and attack for some serious damage. Depends on what his turn 4 play is here. If he has Boros Reckoner, that's one thing. I will have to play it a little safer if that's the case, with just Judge's Familiar and Perforos. I don't give a flying fuck about Perforos. This is going to be brutal. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bottom that. I can even turn a profit on Nykthos, so I can play Nykthos. Play Judge's Familiar. That. Even have an extra mana floating. Yes, and I'll attack for 8. Drawing 3 cards. That seems pretty sweet. Yeah, so the cards a Boros Reckoner there would have been tricky to deal with, but it would have been possible. And a Fanatic Amogus would have been easy to deal with. But Perforos is easier than either. Because it's not even a creature yet. And it likely will not be a creature next turn either. Even if it is, I have the mana to make Thassa unblockable and make the whole team unblockable, really. This is showcasing the power of Nykthos right here. No matter what he plays here as a defense. Yeah, Boros Reckoner, Animate. I mean, you're still shit out of luck, dude. You haven't. I mean, you would need a chain to the rocks here. But little does he know, I have a Thassa backup. Thassa 1, Thassa 2. Poor Thassa 2. At least with the blue-white deck, you could cycle your gods. That was pretty cool. But if you're in a position to, well, not always. If you're in a position to cycle your gods, that sometimes just means you had a bad draw. No attacks. Something sweet. Okay, that's kind of sweet. Let's play an island. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, if I can 5. 1, 2. Seven mana. 5, 6, or 3. Do it on him. Let's do it on him. Now they're all unblockable. Yeah, there we go. Alright, sideboarding. This time, how are we going to do it? I think against the mono red devotion deck, I don't want Jace. They attack in larger chunks and they have Fanatic Amogus. In fact, I'm going to bring those Jace out. I am going to bring in Domestication. I'm going to bring in Claustrophobia. Bring in Rapid. That's a good answer against Boros Reckoner and Stormcast Dragon. I'm going to bring out Judge's Familiar. I don't think it's very useful at all. To get an extra card here, a Dissolve would be fine, I guess. Again, it deals with Dragon, it deals with Fanatic, it deals with Perforos, Chain of the Rocks. It deals with a lot of cards, actually. And does that mean that I want to... What about these Bidents? That Bident in that game was pretty sweet. On the draw, I think it's a little less sweet. On the draw, I think I'm going to bring in a Dissolve instead. And I think I'm going to rock this. I like this. That looks pretty sweet. And let's pause here and come back. Alright, and I have a very awkward draw. On the draw... No, I don't think I can keep this. If this Night Veil Spectre was anything else, I would very strongly consider keeping. But as it is, I have 2 cards in my hand where I need to hit Running Islands to be able to cast by turn 3. I have 1 card. My hand does nothing without a land. If I don't draw a land, I cannot cast anything in my hand. I'm attacking with Mutawalds. Yeah, this hand is just garbage. Yeah, I'll mulligan. This hand is... Ugh. Oh, I think I have to mulligan it, but on the draw... 2 Master Waves. No, I'm not going to mulligan this. I got 25 lands in this deck. Okay, yeah, this is a bit of a risk, but I'm not going to mulligan it. Master Waves is so good against him. It's basically Change of the Rocks or bust. And I have a Domestication, so if I just draw a bunch of lands, I'm okay. If I don't draw a bunch of lands, if I draw 1, I'm okay. 4, I'm definitely okay. 3, rather, I'm definitely okay. And I have a Rapid to kind of stall. And I'm going to pass. I'm not going to play my Tidebinder yet. Notable that obviously Cyclonic Rift cannot target my own guys, so I cannot save something of my own. And I'm fine passing. It's not the sexiest play, but it's better than playing out a Tidebinder. Now, I would rather play a Tidebinder than discard, I think. Depends on what happens here. Obviously, he may just have a play here. If his play is Fanatic of Mogus, an interesting option is I can cast my Cyclonic Rift. Burning Tree Emissary, okay. And what are you playing with that? Flame Wreathed Phoenix. When it enters the battlefield, if tribute wasn't paid, it gains haste, and when it dies, return it to its owner's hand. Okay, that seems like utter garbage. So, he's either a 5/5 flyer, okay, or a 3/3 haste that recurs. Okay, that's okay, I guess. Okay. Do I want to use a Claustrophobia? Yeah, I think I do, and then I can untap and Tidebinder Mage the Burning Tree Emissary. Because I'd be looking to Rapid the Flame Wreathed Phoenix, and that keeps me going the longest, gets my Terminus in play for Master. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you can have your counters. Cyclonic Rift, the Phoenix. And actually, if I draw a land, I would maybe Claustrophobia the Burning Tree Emissary. I'm okay with that. Using my mana a little better, meaning that next turn I can, if I don't draw a land, I can Tidebiter Mage and Rapid. If I do draw a land, I obviously have my plays. But yeah, Claustrophobia the Burning Tree Emissary, just to get some devotion in play. It buys me some time. This Burning Tree Emissary could do upwards of. I mean, I would play a Tidebiter Mage otherwise. So it's probably irrelevant which one I play there. The Claustrophobia is a little more lasting, so maybe I should have played the Tidebinder Mage first, and the Claustrophobia second. But we'll see. I think this turn, if I draw a land, I would be playing a Master. Now this time, I think. So the question is whether I want to try and gamble for a land or not. Either way, I think I want to make it a 5/5 and tap it down with Tidebinder. Keeps Rapid up, so even if I draw a land, that's my plan. Yes. I will pay tribute to you, Flame Wreathed Phoenix. You are a 5/5 flyer. It's Wrathy Dragon. Wrathy Dragon returned. Oh boy, how spooky. I'm going to play Frostburn Weird and Rapid on the Flame Wreathed Phoenix on its upkeep. I don't want that sumbitch to attack me. Stop an opponent's turn. I don't think there's anything he can punish me with. And I don't think there's any reason to wait till he attacks. Rapid, you have hybridized. You're now a frog. You were a majestic phoenix and now you're a frog. Alright. Going according to plan so far. If he attacks me with Burning Tree Emissary, I think I take it. I accept the bluff. It's a free attack, so he should be attack. Well, given that it's a free attack, I should probably be blocking 100%. But I suspect the majority of Moto players not to. Ugh, that's gross. Now I obviously block, but I don't need to. Now I obviously don't know what to do. I think I play the Claustrophobia on Fnatic is pretty slick. Using my mana the best. It keeps Tidebinder up again. I don't know what I'm saving it for necessarily, but it's a little more resilient, so make sure that, yeah, that's the best thing to do for me. Build up my devotion means my first master is going to be even bigger. And it puts a little more pressure on him to maybe use a Chain to the Rocks on my Frostburn Weird, which would, I mean, it might be enough. He might get enough value out of that to be worth it, but it may still be in my benefit, ultimately. We'll see. Either way, I have to cast either of those two spells this turn, and Claustrophobia accomplishes the same thing. Okay, so he removes the Frostburn Weird, albeit with a spell that does not deal with Master Wave, so that's not a necessarily a good thing for me. That's awkward, but it is okay. I'll Tidebinder Mage, tapping down the Lizard, and I'll block the Emissary if he attacks, I think. He does not have Gorklan Rampager or any sort of combat tricks. What could he have? He could have Shock. He could have Anger of the Gods, which obviously he would not cast here. Although Anger of the Gods here would be pretty sweet. Oh god, that would be... after all of that, you son of a... Alright, well, I suppose it's my fault. I gotta block. Got a little. Did I get greedy? What would happen if I just passed? No, I had to play. God damn. No, I had to. I had to do something, right? Make 5, guys. Not quite enough. Not quite enough. What are my outs here? Him misclicking? Him not having anything. Master. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3 is not enough. 4 times 3 is 12. 14. Time for 14. And do I have any outs here? Ugh, change the rocks. Whatever. Garbage. Alright, get back on the play and try this again. I like how I sideboarded. I think negate is nice. Negate is not worth playing. Negate might be better. No, dissolve. Let's do this. Yes, I will play first. And I fucking love this hand. It's exactly what I want in this deck. In this matchup, rather. Get off to a relatively fast start, and ways to continue to apply pressure. Yes, that is fantastic. Hopefully that can snag a Boros Reckoner. Guarantee myself a 2-for-1, 3-for-1 of the sort. Not guarantee myself, but I mean, he could do something like Lightning Strike his Boros Reckoner in response and deal 3 damage somewhere. I mean, I guess. This is a very slow start for Mr. Opponent. So, again, this is what I mean by this. This format seems very dominated by who's on the play. This game would likely be very different. I think part of it is because of the temples. Here, I'm just going to pump my Frostburn Weird to the moon and swing. If he has a shock, so be it. GG. But I'm not going to play another creature. I'd rather use Tidebinder to get value. I don't think he has shock in his deck. If he does, he likely only has a couple of copies. That would be literally the only removal spell that I would be worried about there. If he had 2 mana open, it's a little different. Now, what on earth is he doing here? He either whiffed, or he's trying to do something tricky here. He could be trying to value town me. What happens if I play? I think I just attack. That's all. It's a little boring, but okay. Yeah, he has a removal spell. Well, maybe. Maybe he's just bluffing. Magma Jet. I think he's just bluffing. I mean, I'm doing at least 2. Well, I don't think I'm going to play a spell. Yeah, I'm just going to hit him for 5. Show me. Bluffing son of a bitch. Like I do it myself. Like I mean, you don't want to get too tricky because you don't want your bluff to be obvious. But you know, occasionally you might want to misclick a little bit. Just it's better live. It's easier to do live. To kind of add some trickery like that. I don't personally often. I don't play enough live to do it. Online, I don't fuck around with it. You know, I think trying to read timing tells is a little bit of a lost cause because you don't know. You know, someone might be thinking he might be deep in the tank, or I mean, his wife might have just dropped dinner on the table and he's gorging himself. Like you don't know. Let's see, what is my play here? I think here I can comfortably Tidebinder Mage because it evolves the Cloudfin Raptor out of shock range. It allows me to attack for maximum damage this turn, and it uses my mana beautifully. Attack you for 6, goes you down to 3, and you basically are drawing super thin here, sir. Again, I mean the deck on the play. If he had so I think it is due to the temples because there are so many of these decks that start on turn 2, start on turn 3. The monsters deck has a strange dichotomy where it starts on turn 1 with Elvish Mystic, or it starts on turn 2 or 3 with its other spells. So it seems to break the mold when it gets its Elvish Mystic, and that's where it derives so much of its power from. That's an interesting follow-up. Okay, well, I keep my Frostburn weird, so you got an answer? I did not know this was a rare until this weekend. Anyway, that was the match. That was the daily event. Unfortunately, at 2-2, there is no prize. The prize was the knowledge and the experience, something lame like that. Let's take a look at the deck and review what we just saw. Um, no, this is coming soon. Spicy deck. This is modern. I'm so stoked for modern. Um, I was not into it at all. I did not have a modern deck. I had just a plain burn deck built, and now I have this, and I cannot fucking wait to test drive this. It looks so sweet. This is the very similar. It's 2 cards off of the Pro Tour winning 60 cards. Um, and what's the other card it's in here? It's got these two instead of Johnny Vengeance expensive, so I have these instead. Vendilion Click's fucking expensive too. This card's like $50. Um, anyway, let's load. Continue with no save. Let's load the BNG U Devotion. This is what we were playing in the daily event. I like it. It was okay. Jace is really lame. I think it's safe to say that Jace is a sideboard tool at best. I want to see the deck with Domestications main. Um, and then I don't think I think Cyclonic Rift can go for another Rapid. Because Rapid and Domestication play so well together. And having another removal spell, a hard removal spell, would be nice. And then maybe taking out. See, biting. You need the card advantage. This is pretty sweet here. I would give a deck something like this a try. Maybe instead of Cyclonic Rift, I would consider a Claustrophobia. I would consider a Jace, but I don't think so. I would absolutely consider a third Domestication in the main deck. In fact, let's go ahead and let's fix this stupid. Some of them are Zendikar, some of them are not. Or Rise of the Eldrazi, is that what these are? Let's go 3 Domestications main. Let's give this a try as the deck for next time. I'll kind of dissolve for the 4th Domestication to fight the mid-range decks. Yeah, I will save this. Here is the Blue Devotion version 3.11. And join me next time, and we will go through a daily event with that one.